Hey, I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible because I don't have a lot of time. Because I have to do laundry and it's Saturday, but this feels productive, so I'm gonna do it. There's an organization in Denver called Raw Denver. It seems to be everywhere. I don't really understand it very well, but they had the church nightclub. They had an event. Denny Wetmore, he was the MC. And part of it was a runway show with 5 designers that I shot. This, like I said, this is in an old nightclub, which is in an old church. It's kind of weird. The runway was really small, and I didn't want to fight into this group, and I didn't want to shoot from this close. I really didn't. I mean, I don't think these are going to turn out great for these people. But what I found was I was up in the preacher's pulpit. Here we go. And I put my flash down on the DJ booth, pointing straight up with the bounce card up, and it really worked really well. So you can see I'm getting really good lighting on here, and I'm even, I think, down at the end of the runway getting a little bit of lighting, although it was really well lit down here. So it was more of a tiny fill down there and key lighting down here. So I was up in this spot and I was able to shoot with an 85mm lens, which is much more flattering. And I actually, rather than the pose at the end of the runway, I try to shoot when the forward foot hits the ground because I love that extended look. And also then I was able to get this crazy, the back of the pose at the end of the runway with the photographers and the crowd. I really liked it. It was kind of cool. So this is 135 images from one of the designers. So I'm just going to work with this. I'm not too worried about white balancing because there was so much lighting going on. It's just not practical. I want each set to look coherent. Each designer to look coherent, but really the goal of this is to get it out, tag as many people as I recognize and can find, tag the designers, get it out on Facebook at 2,000, 2,500 pixels. So the goal is just to get something that people share because it's good for my business. Talking about my business, I'm changing my YouTube channel to be more my photography business, blur.bz. It was blur.bz, but I'm kind of rebranding my YouTube channel to Kiefer Honeyford Photography now. If you want to see my work, follow me on Instagram, Kiefer Honeyford Photography. This is where I put all my modeling and portrait work. And everything you see here is no Adobe products were used in the making of this stuff, which I'm pretty proud of. I'm a Ubuntu user, I use Darktable, I use GIMP, and I also use Portrait Pro very carefully and very subtly. Portrait Pro is a Windows and Mac program. Check out my video on how to run that on Linux. So getting down to this, love this shot. This is Phoenix, who was in my van shoot that I didn't edit video of recently, the Funky 70 look. She was one of the models in that. She happened to be in this group, so let's work with her. So here's my process. I want to take one of these images and work it out in a generic way that I think those same settings can be applied to all of the images. So I'm going to work out one image, test it in another couple, kind of home in on home, not hone, look it up. I'm going to home in on the setting that is generically good. Then I'm going to throw away all the ones where it's not good because I've got enough shots. I've got 135 shots here. I've got 700 shots in the set. I want to get that down to about 150 total. So I'm in here. Note that it's gone dim. I'm talking quickly, but feel free to use the gear on YouTube to go in and speed things up to a faster speed because you can watch faster than I can think. I have a zeroed flat base curve that I auto apply to all my images because my studio images I want to start from flat base curve. In this case, if I'm outside or in this scenario, I'm much more likely to use the base curve to bring something up first. And because of the way, I don't really get the stack in Darktable in detail, like Harry Durkin or whatever his name is, who knows this stuff inside out and is worth checking out. But I do know that the base curve is applied super early. So I'm going to use the base curve to approximate where I want to go here, which is super unusual for me. And the real choice is here. I've got some depth of field separation from the group. But how much do I want to light separate them to by bringing down shadows, bringing up the highlights, bringing up the contrast? Again, I'm really trying to do this quickly and affecting base tone curve, adding another tiny bit of contrast with an S curve. So everything here, and a vignette even, I'm separating out this group. And as pretty much most of this shot, I was centering the model in the frame. Pretty good. Have I talked about the camera I used? I used D3S 85mm lens because I was far enough away, which is awesome. My D3S was a better choice for this because focusing in low light's really good compared to the D800. I've got two older bodies. D800's awesome in the studio. There's nothing wrong with it. But this could have been a struggle. I'm gonna pop that as I always do. You can see that's added some highlight. It's added some pop on the highlight. I'm going to flatter a little bit. Bringing down a local contrast. I think I like that. Where are we? I like that. For that scene, I really like that. What's noise doing? It's pretty noisy. There. So that was a super quick edit. I love this photo, so I might come back and crop this. That's starting to bug me. Yeah, right there. Yeah, I'm probably gonna come back and crop this to there, maybe, and use it as the cover. But for now, I'm trying to get in and work out what I want to do with this is global settings. Okay, so I like that. White balance, what's white balance? Oh, what was my camera set to? That might have been auto. Let's try to get some consistency here. That's warmed it a little bit, which I like. So yeah, this is good enough. This is better than most of the photos that are going to float around from this event. So was that one. So let's copy all of those settings and let's take something that's a little bit different, like that photo, and paste the settings. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. And I try to take a photo in mid-stride, either this foot coming up or this foot going down. I kind of time the walk in my head. Yeah, so that same settings were really good. This looks underexposed. Wonder if the flash fired. So I'm not. I want to go through and do this on a few, yes, and decide if I'm okay with this being applied everywhere. So that's a little bit underlit, but it looks like it's intentional, so I'm okay with it again. So So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paste them all onto that one. Then I'm going to select all the others, including the ones that I've done, because I've realized that if you paste, like if I pasted all of these settings over the ones I've already worked on, it's not going to change the image. It's just going to make a massive stack. It's going to make a massive history, which slows everything down. So I'm going to discard everything from those. It's probably still in the buffer, but copy all, paste all. Now we have 135 images that have been processed. And then, I mean, we're 11 minutes in here. Ooh. Did I just screw this whole thing up? Where are the settings I pasted? Oh, I did. I used that one. This is the one with the history, isn't it? Yeah. But I totally messed up. So I did exactly what I wasn't going to do. So there's my base curve. No, that's okay. So I think that's the good one. And everything else is nothing. Okay. Bear with me. I think there's nothing in this stack, but I'm going to discard anyway. So I guess I could have, and please come back. Yes, it's working pretty hard because it's doing the screencast. Now, where's that image again? That's the image with the stack, right? Yes. And that one has nothing. Yes. So let's take the one that has everything, copy all, take everything else, paste all, let things catch up, and now we should have a set of 135 images that are pretty decent. And we're at 13 minutes now after that little mishap. So I'm gonna have a flick through these. Even like that. I'm gonna have a flick through these and make sure. No, that looks kind of bloomy. What's going on? That's okay. I think the raw noise is softening things, but I'm gonna reduce these to 2400. That's awesome. Wow. So am I liking these in general? Come on, pop. Focus is off on that one. Shadows are a little low on some of the mid-runway ones. But do I have 2 or 3 of each model, or 1 or 2 of each model that I think is a keeper? Yes, I do. So let me purge. I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to do some purging and get this down to a set that I think are keepers. Hang on. So I have labeled the ones green that I think are good, which is, and then I ordered by color label so they're all at the top. So we're down to 34 images. It's perfect. So I've selected those. I'm pressing 3, give them 3 stars. So now they should be the only thing with 3 stars. So now, am I really happy with these? I feel like I'm undercooking. I feel like I've got too much darks in general. Let's take one where that is particularly true. No, let's take an average one. Yeah, I'm just cutting the... There's something I'm doing. Is it whether it's too much shadows? Let's back off the noise a little bit. So I'm overcooking the highlights, but I'm okay with that. Because it's a runway show. I'm okay with that. Let's see. I'm not okay with that much, actually. Could be the white balance. How does that actually look to the eye? It looks fine to the eye. I don't know, is that typical? Not really. Let's take another of these end of runway ones. See, that one looks bad. This is, I think lighting changed in the room here. So what do we got? This guy's enjoying the show. So really looks like lighting has changed here. So what can we do to make this a little bit more? Oh, it's over. It's over. You know what? I might just be okay with it. It's not a wedding. Whoa, how'd that white balance get up there? How does that look now? Yeah, it's kind of weird because it's that one. Oops. Go back to file name. So it's that one that I just worked on, but compared to the original one I worked on, it just looks different. So, but I'm gonna take that white balance. Control A, paste the white balance. I don't need both of those. Pick one of these between that one. Come on. It's just working so hard because of the screencast. There it goes. So that's nice. That one's nicer. So let's take the green off of that one. Which is green F3. Yeah. So, and let's take that down to a 2 as well. Oops. That 2 stars, so it's gone. So I feel like some are overexposed, like that one. Like too much overexposed. I don't mind a little bit of it overexposed in this scenario, but not that much. Yeah. So that's playing with fire here using the base curve when I don't really usually do that. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use exposure to fix exposure. Okay, that feels weird that I have to go down a full stop and a half. How does that look? looks washed out. Undo that. What is making this do this in a way that I do not like? It's partly that, but I like the effect. So at this point I gotta make a decision. Am I okay with it or am I not okay with it? If I bring that down a little so this other settings still work, like to there, let's do that. And then if I copy just the exposure, and then if I take the images where I think that is the case, she's right on the flash, which is why that's there. So let's take the ones that are suffering from the same thing, which is only those, and paste that exposure, and those, then we're good. Okay, now I am going to take some of the ones that I think are really cool, but that could do the crop. I'm going to keep the original image size, image crop. Anything that I think really is worth, like it's decent, I'm going to crop. And I'm going to do that from here. Does that get bigger if I scroll? Yeah. So I'm just going to go through a really quick pass and crop ones that I think are worthy of a crop. It's really only these ones out at the end. Very little on that one. Let's get that exit sign out in the background, get the third point on Phoenix. Yeah. That I don't mind. That I don't really care about. Maybe that one. So I can't tell you how long it's been now because when I paused, it reset the counter, and I hope it didn't lose the video. But that's it. So now we have, I would say 35 images, 33 images that I'm ready to deliver and that I like out of 135 that have a good look to them. So next thing, let's go in here a second. So I don't watermark images apart from this. This is the only place I watermark images. The watermark I use, I don't even remember. Is it KH White or something? No, it's a treatment of that, but basically I have it as a style. So I did whatever it was, whatever. I did whatever it was on one image, then I took that image and I created a style called proof wording, proof text, which one is it? Let's work backwards. So, proofs. Proofs do export to a specific place, put the word proof in front of it, put my file, put that in the file name and then the file name, and it applies the style proof text. That's what it is. So if I click this one image and I do proof text, and I go into that image, oh no, not proof text, what am I talking about? This isn't a proof, I'm going mad. So let's take that off again. That's what I do for proofs. I export using that and it automatically puts low res blah 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 in it. That's not what we're doing. Do I have an export? I think I have a web. Yeah, web with logo. So I was setting web with logo. That is 80% compression, max size 2048, and it uses logo white bottom left. So it's using this style that puts my logo bottom left. The entire purpose of doing this is not my fashion stuff. Like when I deliver, this is not my portrait stuff. When I deliver this stuff, even trade, I never logo it because why would I want to take away from these images? But with this, very different. So I can't apply it twice. So all I got to do now is do that. Make sure I've selected. You know what? I'm going to put that up to 85, and I'm going to restore that setting, and I'm going to make these. No, I'm okay with that. This is all good. It's got the logo. I click export. It's exporting those 33 images to what did I call this? There we go. So it's exporting these to my specific place that I like them. And if we look at any of them, it has that logo automatically. So we've definitely got a different color balance out at the end here for some of them, but not all of them. But all in all, I feel like this is a coherent set of images that represents the designer. And we are literally, I don't know what we're literally, but we're figuratively quick. I think we're around 20-25 minutes, including me talking. So I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty efficient. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like and subscribe. It helps me get motivated to do this stuff. Talk to you later. Okay, I lied. I'm not done. I just went and walked away from my desk and came back again and decided I don't like the tint here. So I could probably fix it with white balance, but it's so much more visual to use this tool. So I've got this magenta cast. So I'm going to take the shadows away from magenta, and I'm going to take the highlights a little bit cooler and away from magenta. Yeah, that's so much better. So let's see. Let's copy that color correction and apply it to something that is not out at the end of the runway, like that, obviously. Same thing, paste. Doesn't seem to make as much of a difference there. Yeah, I like it. I mean, look at the difference between that. It's just brought the natural skin tones up. So what about the ones that are closer? Do I want it on the ones that are closer? Like that one? Possibly, because we've got that magenta hardcore light. That seems like, I guess this is where that light is coming from. Come on, pop. Yeah, I want it on them all. So yeah, everything has that tint. Tint. Yeah, Control A, paste all, because that's the only thing in the buffer. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So now all of these already have the watermark, so I don't suppose it matters, but I don't need to additionally add the style. I'm going to overwrite all those files, export, and here we go again. And now that's really it. I'm really done now. Adios.